Let me give you a law of success for life coaches. So, if you are a life coach, either aspiring or current, I want you to pay attention to this law of success. Okay, here are the facts I want you to pay attention to. Basically, when you think about life coaching in general, you are dealing with people's lives. Literally, you're dealing with their insecurities. You are dealing with their visions. You are dealing with their life itinerary. So that's really important to remember. And that's the first thing. The second thing is that you are actually entering a very competitive field. Life coaching is very competitive because everybody can be a life coach. And as a matter of fact, with the internet nowadays, you can actually have competition from all over the world. I mean, you can be somewhere in New York, and you can have a competition, let's say in Indonesia or Nigeria or Peru. I mean, it really. So you are dealing with a global market of live coaches. That's really important. So the first thing you want to do if you want to be a successful live coach, you want to listen to what's not being said. Very important. You have to read between the lines. Okay. So this is actually one of the golden rules of live coaching that helps you get out of the rut when you get stuck with a client's progress. So if you want to be a successful life coach, you want to really listen to what's not being said. You want to read between the line, very important, and you want to always connect with the client at a very personal level. So you want to pay attention to the wiggle that might or might not show up when your client says one thing, but deep down feels another. Right? This is what happens if you are able to read between the lines. It's actually the perfect opportunity when you think about it to actually throw in a follow-up question on the subject because you are trying to dig a little deeper. Okay, so listen to what's not being said. That's the first law of success for life coaches. The second law of success for life coaches is that you want to overcome the I don't know obstacle. You don't have to be an expert in everything. Okay, be humble enough and be comfortable enough with your own lack of knowledge in certain aspects. So if you're having a conversation, you can tell that the client's pretty confident. Like, listen, I don't know the answer to this, but I will find out. And this is a pretty interesting observation, if you will. The third law of success for life coaches, you have to set firm boundaries. Remember, when you are a life coach, you are dealing, I said this before, you are dealing with people's lives. And you are dealing we're dealing with different characters, different life itineraries. So if you don't have firm boundaries, you are exposing yourself, right? So the boundaries are really critical for you to really sort of protect yourself. You want to cover your ass, literally. So the earlier you set your ground rules in your coaching practice, in your life coaching practice, the less likely you will need to deal with difficult life coach clients later on. Okay, let me give you an example. To avoid last minute cancellations, you want to ask for advance payments and you want to set a 24-hour cancellation policy. No excuse, no discussion. You got to be firm. This is your business. Life coaching is a business, okay? So, and if you want to be a successful life coach, you have to really set those firm boundaries. You might also find that some clients message, call, or email you in between sessions. I mean, it won't seem like a big deal to just get back to the clients quickly, but you will soon find yourself giving free coaching through, let's say, chat and wasting a lot of time. I mean, a lot of time. And I'm not even talking about energy. I mean, don't get me started with the energy that you might be wasting big time with those. Those clients, they're unique. Let me just be very polite. They're nice, but they're also unique in the sense that they want to really get your time 24/7 for free. The next thing I want you to really think about is to learn to let go. If you want to be a successful life coach, you want to really learn to let go. So being accommodating to keep a client relationship that's actually draining your energy, it's really never worth it. Because as a life coach, you got to really take care of your energy level too. Because you got to be healthy yourself. You got to be alive, quote unquote. Okay, before you can take care of somebody else's life. So, it's important. Okay, the thing is that don't let any sort of interaction with the client affect your personal well-being and your work with other clients too. So it's just better not to let it drag, not let any specific scenario drag on for too long. It's one of those things where you got to really ask yourself, where is this thing going? Where is this client actually pushing me towards? I mean, some potential reasons you wouldn't want to fire a client are they keep trying to bargain a discount on your set prices. They miss payments on repeatedly, show up late, okay, and cancel at the last minute. They exhibit narcissistic behavior, or they are disrespectful towards you. They don't put effort into working on themselves, or they simply are not coachable, or like one of you seems to be developing romantic feelings for the other. I mean, don't ever really date a client. If you're going to date that client, you want to stop the client relationship and just move into a romantic relationship. Another law of success for a life coach is to really set clear progress milestones. See, the whole thing is that when somebody comes to you with a quote unquote life problem or a life challenge, or let's say a question on a life journey, they are expecting actually progress, right? And you as a life coach, you also have to expect progress too, because otherwise, why would you do this whole process in the first place if you're not adding value? And the only way you can really check if you're adding value is by having milestones, is by having a timeline. Okay, so you want to set clear progress milestones. So right from the start, you want to establish specific, measurable goals, and you want to set up regular checkpoints to actually evaluate your client's progress. I mean, believe me, your clients will really thank you for it. I mean, that ability to track things, that ability to schedule things, that ability to really analyze things, clients love it. Okay, so when clients come to a life coach, they appreciate the level of granularity and also the in-depth insights that the life coach is really offering. So basically, your clients will be more likely to stay engaged with their successes if they see that those successes are visible to them. Okay. You also want to, and this is a biggie. You want to use those milestones that I just spoke about a little earlier. You want to use those milestones as, let's say, opportunities for reflection and celebration, right? It's all about Thanksgiving. It's all about giving thanks, but it's also all about really appreciating the work done so far. And so those milestones will help clients actually recognize the value of ongoing coaching and keep them motivated to continue investing in the process. Remember, as a life coach, you are running a business, okay? You're not a nonprofit, you're running a business. So you want to have engaged clients. You want to have, clients that are loyal to you. They're taking, let's say, coaching packages maybe for 1 year or 2 years or even longer. That's how you can stabilize your revenue base. You also want to check in between sessions. This is another powerful law of success for life coaches. So you want to improve client retention by regularly reaching out to them between sessions. So a quick check-in via email or messaging shows clients that you are invested in their progress beyond actually scheduled sessions, okay? And that's really big. Even a few words of encouragement, okay, or a powerful reminder can really maintain their momentum and make them feel supported. Again, make sure that the extra effort you spend on check-ins is incorporated in your packages. Another law of success for life coaches is actually you being able to offer personalized resources. I want to go back to what I said when I started the conversation. I was telling you that basically being a life coach means that you are dealing with somebody's life, literally. Okay, it says it in the name, life coaching. So the more bespoke, the more customized, the more personalized resources you actually bring to the table, the better. Because no two individuals are the same. So if you are able to offer personalized resources, that's really good. Okay. Now, personalized resources don't have to be specifically for that particular client. It just means that you have actually curated a variety of material that will appeal to that client. So resources like articles, worksheets, or book recommendations specific to your client's unique situation can add significant value to your coaching, to your life coaching. Okay. So if you want to be a successful life coach, you want to really do that. And those resources can reinforce lessons from your sessions and also deepen their insights. So that's what you want to have. You also want to start building an email list. If you're trying to be a successful life coach, think about building an email list. And social media may actually seem like an easier or more fun way to engage your audience. But an email list is an absolute must for life coaches, albeit quite overlooked. Okay. So if one day algorithms change, or God forbid, you lose your social media account, your email list will always be your sure-proof channel to reach your life coach prospects. Okay. And that's important. Now, an email newsletter for life coaching also has a higher visibility and conversion rate than social media posts that your audience easily scrolls through. Okay. So that's kind of important. And the newsletter, for instance, allows you to divide your audience into sub lists and communicate with them in a more personalized way. For example, by calling them by their first name. I mean, that really is really powerful. So when it comes to email newsletters, remember that consistency is way more important than frequency. Okay. And also testimonials are really, really your most valuable assets. So if you are looking for the law of success for fitness coaches, I want you to really filter information. I mean, the internet is simultaneously the best and the worst thing to happen to the fitness industry. If you really look at it from a serious point of view, okay, you can easily, the cool thing is you can easily find answers to your questions, while your clients can just as easily fall into rabbit holes of paranoid misinformation. So if you don't know the difference, one looks just as credible as the other. You can help your clients actually find the best info from the most reputable sources, and you also want to help them avoid the fringe stuff that will drive them crazy. So everyone, the thing is that everyone wants a credible source of info. By the way, okay, and everything your clients come across will fall into one or more of this categories. I'll put this on the screen. First, you have total scam or gimmick. So you know what I'm talking about. That scammers know how to fool people like your clients, or not appropriate for your client goals. It could be a great program for an advanced lifter, but a terrible idea for your middle-aged lawyer with a 40-inch waist, or not necessary. So the new mom trying to get her pre-baby body back has no reason to use a diet created for a physique athlete, or not appropriate for their level. So a client who has yet to reach his first or her first plateau doesn't need a complicated periodization scheme, or a high volume bodybuilding routine, or a serious strength program designed for someone who's been lifting at least 5 years. So bottom line is what you want to help your clients find accurate information that's appropriate for their current levels, and nothing less and nothing more. It's just to have the right approach. Next, do not wipe them out. Do not wipe your clients out, because the goal of training is not to get tired. It's to get better. If all anyone had to do was chase fatigue, the more the better. We'd all be out of a job, right? So that's important. So to create change, what you want to do is you want to present the body with the level of stress, okay, it needs to adapt to, and then give it time to recover and adapt. Imposing the right level of stress can be challenging for an advanced client, but it's very easy for the beginner. So it's like I said at the very beginning of this conversation, if the client wasn't doing anything before he or she started training with you, just about anything you have the client do will be sufficient stimulus for adaptation. So think about that. You don't need to annihilate a beginner client to get great results. You just need to give the client a workout that feels like a workout to him or her, but that he or she can easily recover from before your next session. increase the challenges in a systematic way, and the client will make progress for the foreseeable future. So that's really something that you need to think about, because bottom line is the worst that can happen if you start light, the client complains that he or she is not working hard enough, and you want to really understand. You have to adapt to their situation. If you want to be successful as a fitness coach, here is another law I want you to pay attention to. You want to create personalized programs. Don't pretend to know what they don't know and stick to the scientific facts, okay? Truly personalize the exercise program to each and every client. That's important. Each and every client, especially his or her particular limitations, health issues, needs, or interests, okay? Now, this insights about the noticeable characteristics of top personal trainers can be an important resource. If they've helped others to be successful in their careers, it could work for you too. So in fitness, or almost any industry, there are many job skills that can take years to learn. And the cool thing is that, especially as experienced professionals, should want to see the newbies be successful, because if you are all doing well by following best practices, it can really elevate the professionalism of the entire industry. Number 9, you want to focus on linear progressions. You want to focus on linear progression. Let me explain. You want to get as much as you can from linear progression, in the sense that a beginner might be able to add weights to his or her goblet squat every workout 3 times a week. If he or she moves up in 5-pound increments, he's adding 15 pounds or she's adding 15 pounds a week, and might be able to keep adding weight for your first month or 2 of training. Of course, it won't continue like that forever, right? But why not take the easy gains now while they are still easy? And finally, an important law of success for fitness coaches is to get your client excited, okay? Get them excited about what really matters. These days, it's a lot easier than ever for your clients to get distracted with the latest fitness fad. Your job is to actually keep them focused on what really matters, their personal fitness goals. Make sure everything you do supports these goals, and make sure the client knows that that's why you're doing things for them. Even more important, show the client how much progress they have made toward those goals. You want to pull out the training logs from the first few weeks and then congratulate them on how far they have actually come through the process. So if you think about the law of success for fitness coaches, here are a few extra tips I want you to really pay attention to, okay? You want to really understand that gaining confidence as a group fitness instructor comes with experience, but if you are a new instructor, you probably want to be the best you can be right now, okay? So one thing you want to do first is to be prepared, okay? Be prepared. This is the foundational piece of advice I want you to think about, okay? Preparation for fitness coaches comes in the form of ongoing education and lesson plans. Number 2, you want to anticipate bumps in the road. Those will happen all the time. Even if you map out how you want the class or boot camp to proceed, it doesn't always go as you would have hoped. Things happen. Develop your leader persona. Okay, if you want to be a fitness coach, you got to be somehow a leader. Okay, analyze what special experience you provide in your workout, and then emphasize that experience in your classes or boot camps. You want to identify also your allies. It can be especially intimidating for new instructors to stand in front of a group that changes every week, which is exactly what happens with traditional group exercise. You never know who's going to be in a group fitness class, so there are always, almost unfamiliar faces. And you also want to accept that some people won't like you. It's just part of the game. Don't try to really fight the system. Basically, some people just won't care for your classes, boot camps, or your style of instruction. Even though it happens to almost every group fitness instructor at some point or another, it can be a real confidence shaker, okay? Especially if you are trying to be a successful fitness coach coach in your niche. Okay, so but just accept that. Nobody actually, nobody's perfect, and neither are you. Okay, so accept that, and then move on from it real fast. One thing I want to say here is that it's all about appealing to that particular core, that niche that you really want to appeal to, and do your best at delivering to that niche. That's all. Okay, that's all. You really need to up your game and make sure that your delivery is always perfect. That's all you need. So if you are trying to look for a law of success as a fitness coach, you want to command attention. So if you're a personal trainer and bootcamp instructor, you might be most familiar with the individual interactions you have with clients. However, you must adopt a different style for sharing information and teaching exercises to a group, especially a large one. And communicating to a group is vastly different from communicating in a one on one situation. You also want to consider your visual brain. How you present yourself as a fitness instructor can make you appear either more confident or less confident, regardless of how you actually feel. Okay. Next, you want to manage first impressions. So the first 5 minutes or so of a traditional group fitness class or a bootcamp sets the stage for the entire workout. Yet new group fitness instructors often miss the opportunity to make a stellar first impression during this crucial time. So don't wait until the middle of the class to showcase your strong leadership and motivational skills. Pump lots of energy and enthusiasm into the start of your class or a bootcamp before and during the warm-up, okay? Greet people as they arrive. And when the class or bootcamp begins, commend the crowd, okay, to actually assert your leadership role. And you have to actually love what you teach, okay? There's a lot of pressure these days, so you have to love what you teach and fake it when necessary. Sometimes you might want to fake it a little bit to make sure that you appear more confident than ever. Finally, you want to be proactive, okay? Provide a safe and welcoming environment. Invest in continuing education. Lead by example. If you want to be a successful fitness coach, be a professional. Empower your clients. That's important. You also want to encourage a healthy lifestyle, and you have to appear healthy yourself, okay? And you want to show that you care. You can ask the client how he or she feels today. Do what's best. Be authentic sometimes. I mean, not sometimes. Do authentic all the time. Sometimes being authentic can really help you connect with the clients a lot more easily. You have to be open to learning, okay? Because nobody's perfect, and you are not perfect. You cannot know it all. You have to educate your client, and you have to explain why the client is doing whatever he or she is doing. In closing, in today's conversation, I gave you the law of success for fitness coaches. I give you the overview, the law of success from 1 to 10, the extra tips, and the importance of being proactive. Thank you so much. God bless you. I will see you next time. Until then, remember, stay marvelous.